I wish I could wax eloquent on the idea of favor, but I seem that aspect of the Gyfu Rune I seem to do better writing than discussing. So I'm better off just discussing some things like gifts and such. And there's a method to my madness, and this is madness, definitely here at Trollwise, this is madness. There's a method to it. Because the stories I'm choosing to tell all illustrate aspects of Gyfu and giving. And little nuances that you can learn and apply. Think about the rune. You want to make this rune personal. This is a very special rune. It's a rune that has a lot of ramifications, and to gain an appreciation, a real consciousness of this rune on a deep level can be very rewarding. This is one of the most important runes, one that's often overlooked because people only see a gift. Oh yeah, fine. And they don't see the idea of an exchange, where like 1 and 1 is 2. You've got a 1, you got a 1. They're each one thing. Another thing. We'll put them together, you get a third thing, 2. Or this illustration I tried to draw of the Gyfu Rune where the X meets. You see that? Where the two sides meet is actually an opening to pass one to the other, the shared experience. Because Gyfu, the exchange, and the receiving, the giving and receiving between the two is that shared something that giver and receiver have together. I'm not saying it's always a good thing. Have you ever given your child, a very small child, or even a cat or a puppy something, and they brighten up, they're happy to have it, and in that, they don't always know how to show gratitude as we do, but there is a joy, there is a feeling that you get a response, and in the middle there, you both benefit. There's a shared something to that. That's in a way, a pure form of giving that we as a society have gotten away from. Because many years ago, when you gave gifts on the holidays or something, you didn't just go out and buy a bunch of stuff and, say, well, the more I love them, the more I'll spend. You usually thought about the gifts you gave. There was an idea of caring. And the favorite gift, you see the reaction, is the one that was done thoughtfully. They don't do this on the holidays as much anymore. It's just like a cavalcade of crap. And we and some relatives of ours decided that we didn't want to descend into that, so we said no more gifts. So so what happened is, instead of big gifts and things, little tokens, a picture, a little gift, a little trinket, but given thoughtfully just because I like you, I want you to have this, I thought you'd get a kick out of this, with some thought of the person receiving it, no matter how small. And there's joy to that. There's happiness because it's real giving. And years ago there was real giving too. You'd really pick something out for someone. And you still do this if it's like a girlfriend you want to impress. And that's part of the gift, part of the exchange, the thoughtfulness. And what with the common holiday glut of giving we have now, that's gone. And my own family was kind of like, well, we just throw them a lot of stuff and we'll show them we love you. And it was, I remember, receiving a load of stuff on a birthday. There was a lot of stuff, but none of it that I wanted or needed. I couldn't even sell it, so I ended up junking it. Because, and I tried to give more thoughtfully, and here was the other side of the dilemma. The family was a bit screwy, and I was kind of like the one that, I'm always no good, and the others are always perfect, no matter what I could do, it didn't do any good, so no matter what gift I gave, it was like, oh, it's from him. And it was a real lesson to me, that sometimes, no matter what you give, if the giver isn't someone they like, or someone they care for, doesn't matter what kind of gift you give, it's always no good. By the same token, if it's someone you really esteem, whatever gift they give is wonderful. And there, through the Gyfu Rune, is the appreciation of giver and receiver. Fortunately, I have nothing to do with that family anymore. I cut my ties with them because that's my gift to myself. And, life is so much better. Because now I'm with people who we care and shown in our gifts and how we treat each other. And that's all an exchange. And that's all Gyfu, that exchange between one and another. The way we interact, the word interact, me and you. Well, that's part of Gyfu too, that exchange between us. I think of gifts as well, and sometimes it's a lot of fun because if you're in the same hobby, for instance, hey, he likes Lionel, I like Lionel, I know just the right boxcar. And we do have a certain joy in our giving, because our giving, if it's from the heart, is an extension of ourselves to someone else. It's where we're saying, hey, I got something for you. I want you to enjoy this. I picked something out. How about homemade gifts, handmade gifts, and they're just so wonderful because you can feel it. People infuse it with something special. And those are happy gifts. And favors. We do favors for each other. And the people we esteem most, there's always a little something extra in that favor. An extra kindness, an extra bit of thoughtfulness. That's really something special. And I wrote of favors, how a favor we do, sometimes we expect a favor in return. And did you ever wonder, maybe it's like a bank account, I'm giving you a favor now, so in the future, Gyfu, you can exchange and give me a favor in exchange. You hear people say, well, he owes me a favor. Sometimes we ask someone to do us a favor, and on some level, we're beholden to them, that if they need something, it's just right that we do for them also. Many favors we can do, but a favor is not like a gift. It's a very different kind of gift. It's usually subtler, it's usually an action. Someone's looking for a job. I know the kind of job he's looking for. I know a guy who's hiring, so as a favor, I give this person a reference. That's a favor. A favor of giving someone a reference, giving someone a good review, agreeing to review a book for a friend, doing these little things, cost-free, but yet always the implication, well, a favor and a favor in the future. You ever think that to favor is a gift in itself? My favorite ice cream, I'm giving the gift of my appreciation. And in return, it's something I like better than the other stuff. There's something to think about there, isn't it? A lot of nuances to Gyfu, gift, and giving. Sometimes this exchange is very subtle. And I think at the time, this has got to be about 35 years ago. And I was at a party and this woman and I were flirting back and forth with each other. There's an exchange too. There's an exchange of your attention. There's an exchange of, hey, I'm interested. And the little back and forth, the little gift to those little smiles and winks and grins. An exchange. So when we get to the final essence of Gyfu, we have a giver, a receiver, and in the middle, there's something special, something we create, some shared thing. Maybe it's a bit of joy, maybe it's a bit of happiness, maybe it's just a little piece of ourselves that we're exchanging with someone else. Because very times, inwardly, we see our gifts as a reflection of ourselves. And we see how they're received as a reflection of how we are received. A lesson, as I mentioned a minute ago, is one I had learned. Gyfu is a gift in exchange and a favor. Think about this rune a lot because there's so much to it, and yet it is so simple at heart. Good luck in your studies. Have a good one. This is Uncle Thor from the Trollwise Press, and I'm signing out now.